Hi guys, welcome back to Charmaine's Kitchen. Today was a hot and sunny day and there's so much in the garden for me to harvest, and I want to show you guys what I am harvesting today. So come on down with me, let's go around the garden and see what we find today. One for salad. One for pickle. And for all my Trini friends, one for chow. This is the biggest one out of the three. So let's go around. Look at, show them this other one. And these are 3 organic fresh cucumber. Let's go, let's see what else we have. And let me show them our black eye Susan, the beauty of the garden. And I have some Corilla, check up there. We have a whole bunch in here. We have some new ones coming out. We have one hiding from us here. And we have another one here. This Corilla plant was very good to us, and then we have some more here. There's one right here. There's one up there, and then there's one here. So let me pick the biggest one because I don't want it to get ripe on the plant. So we're gonna pick this one here because it is bigger than the rest. I don't want to fall in here. Did I cut the right stem? Yeah. And we have a nice biggie. So what I do when I get one and I don't have a whole bunch, I can cook it in a dish that only takes one, or I can cut it up and leave it in my freezer until I have enough for a meal. The okra is ready to bear like crazy. I have one here and a whole bunch in here. I have my dry one is drying up nicely for seed next year, and there is more on this plant as well. So there's always something nice to look forward to. And I have my beet over here, this red and green plant here. This is my beet over there. You can juice the leaves, and then there's another beet right here. So let's head on to our same now. This is what I'm excited for because I didn't get any same yet for the season. So we're gonna grab this bunch and I'm gonna cut it right off because all of it is ready. Look at that. A bunch of fresh organic same. Same and Edo go very nice with some shrimp. And this is another beautiful bunch right here. So all of it is ready. So we're picking the entire bunch of same. And then I'm gonna pick these two. And then there's just a few that's ready from this one. So I'm just gonna pick the big ones and leave the smaller ones to harden up some more and mature some more before I pick those ones. So far we have same, cucumber, and Corilla. And let me show you what I was waiting for patiently. And I know you guys will be happy when you see it too. Come on down. So look at this baby here, guys. You guys know I am always proud of my squash. There's a beautiful one here. There's a lot more on the vine, like there's a little tiny one here. There's a little tiny one there, but let me show you guys something else, a big surprise. This is the whole squash vine here. Check out this one. That's a beauty in there. And remember the shovel? I showed you guys once that I had a squash growing as long as the shovel. Check this baby out. This is the big one. It grew It didn't reach up the length of the shovel. It passed the shovel and it's way down to the bottom. And I think it's time we should pick it now. And I'm gonna prepare a dish with this so you guys can see how I am preparing this. A beautiful long organic squash, and I'm gonna measure it so you guys can see how long it is. So let's go and pick this one. So the moment we were waiting for, my first squash of the season. Oh my gosh. I just want to cut out a little one here that didn't make it. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Go out there so you can see the whole length of it. Let's see. Let's measure. Oh my goodness. Almost my length. That's how long it is. Wow. So this is all my harvest for this week. A squash. What did my husband say where I get what?
Bamboo.
Bamboo from. I got tomato, I got corilla, same, and I got cucumber. So that alone I'm satisfied with, and if I had this only I would have been more than thankful, but there's still more to come, so stay tuned. So guys, we're gonna measure the squash to give an accurate length of how long it is. So I'm gonna go from here, and I think, let's see, how much is that?
It's 4 feet 2 inches.
4 feet 2 inches?
Yeah.
So overall the squash was 4 feet 2 inches long, and I like to take pictures every year with the squash so I can compare with the years before. I also got a good harvest of cucumbers, and now the sames are coming in, and that's my harvest for today. So my friends, to cook this big 1 foot giant that I have here, 4 feet 2 inches long, I have some goat and lamb that I wash nice and clean. I'm gonna season this and pressure it to cook our squash. Let me show you how we're doing this. So into the lamb and the goat, we're gonna add some green seasoning. About 3 tablespoons of green seasoning. We're gonna add some black pepper in here. Salt, and we're gonna mix this in. I'm gonna let it sit for about 15 to 20 minutes before I pressure the meat. So in my pressure cooker without any oil, because the lamb have a little trimming of fat, we're gonna burn out the rank water or let it cook out the natural water from the lamb and the goat. We're gonna leave it on the heat until all its natural water is completely gone, and then I'm gonna show you the next step. So as you can see, the natural water from the goat and lamb is burning out, and just a little bit of oil from the fat remains in the pot. I'm gonna add some water to this, and we're gonna pressure this meat until it's nice and soft. So, moment of truth. I'm gonna be cutting up our squash now. To cook it, I'm just gonna cut it into some small pieces, and Natalie would help me to peel and chop it up into nice small pieces. Look how beautiful it is. We're gonna see how much we get out of it. It usually gives us a nice portion for my family. We can eat it 2 times. So Natalie will take over now, and I'm gonna start working on the seasoning for this squash. So look how nice Natalie's peeling up the squash. It is very, very young inside. I am so excited for this first squash of the season. This is all the pieces that we got, and we have some more here. I'm just gonna cut them up in small pieces like this, and this squash is very young. So with some help from Natalie, we cut up the squash, and check how nice and beautiful that color is. You know that this is a good, young, nice squash. I have some nice ripe tomatoes. I'm gonna make like a stew version. And I have all my fresh ingredients here. I have 2 onions, I have cilantro, thyme, marjorie pepper, garlic, I have oregano and green onion. And let me show you guys this green onion. This was given to me by my friend from church, and this is a giant green onion, look like a onion itself. So I know she's gonna watch this video. If you're watching, thank you so much for these green onions. I'm loving them because they're organic, freshly grown in your garden. And I did enjoy those poi bhaji or those kalaloo that you give to me. So let me chop these up, and we will come right back to put the squash and the goat and lamb together. So now we're gonna cook our squash. I'm gonna add some onions to the pot. So now that our onions been cooking for a little, I'm gonna go in and add my goat and meat into the onions. We wanna fry it up with some flavor as well. We're gonna mix this in. Remember, I pressured the lamb with some flavor in there, and then we're gonna build more flavor on top of this. So we're gonna add some fine thyme in here. It will go nice with the lamb, and it'll flavor up our meat nicely. So we're gonna add some oregano in there. That's gonna give us nice flavor. We're gonna mix, and I'm gonna add my garlic as well. Going with our hot pepper now. Mix this up. And it's time for us to go in with our squash. So we already wash the squash when we peel them, because I find when you cut them up and wash them, then it's going to spring up a lot of water. We're going to add some salt, a little bit, because I had some in the meat as well. And we're going to add some cayenne pepper in there. You can add black pepper as well, but I'm going to do cayenne pepper because I want this color and some nice flavor. And then we're going to mix this up nicely. And this is one of the easiest way of making squash. Once the squash soften up, it's going to be ready because the lamb and the goat is already cooked. And I'm gonna chop up some tomatoes to add in here. You can add tomato paste as well, but I have fresh garden tomatoes that I want to use up before they get soft. Let's add our green onions. And that's my garden fresh green onion from my friend. We're gonna mix that up. And this looks like more meat than squash. And I'm gonna add my tomatoes. Again, garden fresh tomatoes. So everything in here is gonna be absolutely delicious. So I'm adding 3 tomatoes. And we're gonna mix everything in. Allow the tomato and the green onions to cook along with the squash. And as you can see, there's not much water in here, so it's cooking nicely to my liking. So our squash is looking absolutely amazing. I'm gonna add my cilantro now because this is almost done. We're gonna give this a mix. Oh my God, the color is beautiful. I can see meat all over in the pot, and I don't want to cook it out until it's melted. I want to still hold up with little pieces like that because I want to see the squash in my plate when I'm eating it. This goes nice with some roti. This goes nice with bake, or it goes nice with rice like I'm gonna do today. So a little bit more, about 2 more minutes, and then I'm gonna remove it from the heat. So my friends, here is my beautiful garden fresh squash cooked with all that fresh ingredients, some goat and some lamb in there. and it is looking beautiful with color and everything. So I'm gonna plate it up and let you guys know how this tastes. So I came right back into the backyard to eat this delicious food, and I'm gonna go in with my fingers. I have some pepper sauce, garden fresh cucumber, and my squash done nicely with tomatoes and fresh ingredients from the garden. So let me show you guys. Look at this. It's melting, but I wanted it to hold up and to have a nice texture, because when I'm doing the video I want to see those pieces of squash, and I am just drooling. If you never had squash like this before, I hope you'll give it a try with the goat and the lamb together. This mouthful goes to all the viewers. Cheers. You can put your blindfold on and tell this is organic squash. The flavor is so rich, so delicious. Tastes completely different from store-bought. Oh my goodness. This reminds me of when I was small. My grandma used to plant squash and it used to taste like this, but I thought that's because she used to cook it on the fireside. But oh boy, nothing like your organic squash. So I'm gonna take one more mouthful with some pepper sauce. Another piece on the lamb and goat. I cook it soft, so it have little pieces all over, which is really, really amazing. Let me take a bite of this garden cucumber. Even the cucumber is so tasty. So one more mouthful. I wish if you guys can taste this. I have more squash to cook, so stay tuned for when I'm gonna harvest those and cook them. I want to say thank you all so much for sticking around with me to see the whole harvesting and the cooking and the process, and for me to taste for you all. Take care. God bless. Bye for now.